Well, I think David Cameron has been starting to realise the problems that European Union membership creates. For example, he needs desperately to tighten up on immigration. His grand plan was to put more restrictions on welfare payments for immigrants. He's been told by the European Commission he can't do that. He's also been very concerned on the energy front with creating new nuclear power stations in Britain. He's done a deal with a utility company, but the European Commission has said they don't like the terms of the deal and it's state aids. Or even you take penal policy in the prisons. The European Union has told us that prisoners must have the vote. And Cameron has said that the idea of giving prisoners the vote makes him feel physically sick. And of course the latest thing is they've come along and said you can't have life sentences either. So on issue after issue after issue we're finding that we can't do what our British elected democratic government wants to do. And in that context the 95 MPs have written to Cameron saying we would like to be able to block new European rules, but not only that, we'd actually like to be able to repeal existing ones. Now clearly that's impossible while we're members of the European Union. If we could do it, then every other member state would want to do it. If every member state can disregard any European law when it chooses to, that would be the end of the European Union. I think that would be a good idea, but people in Brussels are absolutely not going to agree to it. And William Hague, our Foreign Secretary, has said that the 95 idea is not practical, and that's the reason why he thinks it's not practical. He's proposed instead what he calls a red card, where a number of member state governments, say 10 member state governments, could agree and could then block or delay new European regulation. But the idea, actually, the bureaucratic problem of getting agreement between 10 separate member states on the same issue, it just isn't going to happen. It's nice in a headline, but it isn't going to work. And I think this is what we're going to see as we move on towards the European election and as David Cameron talks more and more about renegotiating Britain's relationship with Europe. He's going to come back with ideas like this red card and say, hey, look at this, we've got a red card, it's all going to be all right. But actually it's no more than window dressing. It isn't going to work. The British people, I think, will understand that the only way we can get rid of this burden of unacceptable European rules is actually to do what my party says we should do, which is to leave the European Union entirely.